Have you ever wondered why you've done everything you can? You've applied every principle you've learned about how to grow money, yet the money is not coming? Ever wondered why you've started a business, applying all the rules, all the formulas you've learned, and yet the business don't seem to do well? And then some people don't even put in as much effort as you are putting in, but they seem to get results. Have you ever wondered why that is that way? That is because apart from the principles that you learn about wealth and finances, there is also something that many people are not aware of that is responsible for wealth. It's called power for wealth. You see, you could have all the principles, you could have all the keys to financial success and still be broke. I mean, there are many people, including most of the people who teach, on different platforms on how to be wealthy. Most of them don't have money. And that is because when it comes to wealth, it is much more than calculating. It's much more than than understanding the principles and the workings. See, there is a power that actually enable people to make money or make a lot of wealth. Why do you think that many people have, almost everybody knows about savings or investment? Some of those basic things that we do to get money, almost everybody knows. But have you wondered why not many people are rich? Because they don't have the power for wealth. You see, this reminds me of some years ago. I'll call some of my folks and I'll teach them about business and how business work. In that time I was living in a smaller town. At about, I think about 12,000 people, the town I lived in at the time. So I would teach and teach and teach on different, principles and, different businesses you can do. Even started teach things basic like a business you can start with $1,000, with $500, and all of those things. So I teach these things in such a way that even the dumbest of the person will understand. But for some reasons, the people that I'm teaching don't seem to do anything with the information. And when I ask, you were in that seminar, yes, we were in that meeting, yes, we were at the course, yes. So why have you not done anything? The excuse is that this town is very small and there's no money in this town. The only little money that is available in the town, we are all fighting for the money. And so I thought to myself, like, okay, something must be wrong. Because I know in that same town there are millionaires. Of course, not a lot, but there was a man who I know very well who is a millionaire, a couple of them. So I thought to myself, all right, I'm going to do business myself because I want to find out, So I went into business, started a business, and in 24 months, within 2 years, we've gone over $1 million in sales. Then I came back and said, but everybody said it's difficult in this city. You cannot do business. You can make in the same city. And now I didn't even do anything extraordinary. We had a cosmetic, business, cosmetic shop, and went over $1 million in sales in 2 years. Now, somebody could say, come and say, oh, no, you are just lucky. No, I was not lucky. There is a difference between possessing knowledge of something and having, in Christianity, we call it grace for that thing. You see, and that is why, plus all your learning, about how to become wealthy, so you require that power, that grace. And that grace comes from God. There's a scripture in the Bible where God said to his people, he said, you shall remember the Lord your God, for it is him that gives you power to get wealth. So there is a power to get wealth that is responsible for the wealth of those who are wealthy. Then, okay, somebody said, I don't believe in that there's such a thing that wealth is just a matter of calculations. Then ask yourself a question: why do people join cults? Why do you think most of these billionaires and millionaires that you heard about in the world, why do you think they belong to one cult or the other? You may have heard of somebody who went to a Sangoma man, or who went to a juju priest, or to an occultic person, because he wants to be wealthy. Now ask yourself a question, and I always tell people, what do you think they teach people in the occult? You think they go there to learn business strategies? Or you think people go to the occult or join, these different groups to learn how to scale business or how to succeed in business? No, they don't go there for those things. You see, you may have heard of human sacrifices and all of the, human sacrifices and the different rituals that people carry out. And you think, oh no, why do you think they do those things? The purpose for all of those things is because they know that wealth is not just a function of calculations, but that there is a power that enables people to become prosperous and become wealthy. You see, a man who just maybe, may have been told, you need to kill someone or kill people, bring the blood of this and that, and they go do it. And when they bring those sacrifices, supernaturally they just become wealthy. You see, and of course, nobody should ever go into that kind of nonsense, right? But the point I'm trying to make here is the fact that people know that there is a power that is responsible for certain kind of wealth. That if a man doesn't possess that power, he may know everything about money. He may study. In fact, he may even be a motivational speaker. He may even be a financial coach, but doesn't have the money himself. You see, so crave, study all you can, but then you need grace. You need grace. And one of the places that you can get the grace for wealth is to connect to your God. If you're a Christian, for instance, be a proper Christian, be properly aligned with God. You see, because there is that thing called divine enablement that help people to prosper in anything. Another scripture in the Bible I like to say, it says, whatsoever you do shall prosper. So whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. But there is a man who's talking about that whatever he do will prosper. You see, not everybody. He said, blessed is the man that does not walk in the counsel of the ungodly, not stand in the ways of sinners, not sit in the seats of the scornful, but his meditation is in the law of the Lord. And in the law of the Lord, rather, his delight is in the law of the Lord. And in the law of the Lord, he meditates day and night. He said, this man shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of waters. His leaves also shall not wither. Then he says, whatever he does will prosper. You see, so you can see somebody doing the same thing you are doing. He became rich doing that thing. And you can't understand why you can't even pay your own bills. The difference between you and that man is grace. He has power for wealth. You don't have it. You see, you have skills. You have knowledge. Yes. Do you know how many broke people we have around who are very knowledgeable? If you walk on the street, and this will shock you, this will really, really blow you away. If you walk on the street and ask the average person that is suffering right now or poor right now, ask him, tell me, what do you think I can do to become a millionaire? The average person have idea of what you can do or what one can do to become a millionaire. Then you ask, so why are you poor? He lacks power. You see, he lacks the grace for wealth. You can play down on this, but this is so crucial. See, this is so crucial. In fact, you just look around you. Some of the most intelligent people in the society are not the wealthiest people. Because when it comes to at the level of wealth, it is more than intelligence. Look, most of the popular billionaires in the world today, most of the popular billionaires, from the man of Microsoft to the gentleman of Oracle, to Dell Computers, to Facebook, to Alibaba, some of these guys left school or didn't have university degree, but they are among the wealthiest men in the world. So what I'm saying to you is this: learn all you can, learn your principles for wealth. It's valid, it's important that you should. I'm teaching it. It's important that you learn those things. But beyond those things we are learning, connect with God. Connect with your God properly. Because when that grace is working in you, little effort, great results. Like I told you my story, how I went to do business in the same town with 12,000 1,000 people in the same town. That the people I have been teaching for years are complaining. I went into business in the same town with the same population. I scaled our business within 2 years. You see, so in every place, every town, you find people. There are people who are rich and there are those who are poor. The question is, why are those who are rich? It's not always even about seeing opportunities. Like somebody said, I wish I could do business I could do. I like the way you do your things. That's okay. That's good. But the only difference is that you are not me. So I can teach you everything that I'm doing and teach you everything that I know, and you may not have my result. Why? Because you are not me. And the thing that differentiates me from you is not the knowledge that we possess, but the grace, the power that we have working for us. So don't be pursuing wealth and then you neglect your life, with your God. You no longer have time for God because you believe that it's just about hard work. Let me tell you. You see, when we say hard work, it is we mean different things. When you see a very wealthy man say, I'm working hard, he means completely different thing from when a poor man said, I'm working hard. Because to a man who is not financially wealthy, hard work for them is physical exertion. So if I'm pushing myself and I'm working myself out and I'm doing all those things, then I'm working hard. But for the man who is wealthy and who have this grace, when they say hard work, they don't mean physical exertion. It is actually a work from the state of rest, the comfort, the convenience of life. I know a man in the Middle East who, whenever he wants to make a billion or billions of dollars deals, he will go into the desert, take his drivers and, guys and go into the desert and go observe nature and take fresh air and all of those stuff. Now, if you ask him, he's having the hard work with all the security details and so on. He goes into the desert, and spend a day in the desert and come back in the evening. You already know what he's going to be doing. You see, he has made contacts with whatever it is that he knows exactly the decision to make. He knows the action, the next line of action to take. Now, if you see that man, in the desert riding camels and all of those stuff, you're going to say, he's having fun, but he's working. So he's working. So hard work definition differs from person to person. But wealth is not a result of hard work. You may have heard of word like good fortune. Some call it luck. It's more than that. For you to have certain kind of result repeatedly, you must have grace for it. There was a time when I relocated from, the town I was to a bigger town to start a new phase. It's like I almost lost almost everything that I had because I invested in things that didn't work out, so I almost lost everything. And it was like we're back on the ground. Haven't been in the realms of millions, back on the ground. But you see, in the midst of all of those stuff, I never had a night that I couldn't sleep. Because I felt down deep in me that the money didn't make me, I made the money. And that I was going to figure out somehow the money will come back. And guess what? Within 2 or 3 years, we're back to where we were. You know why? Money is grace. If you take all the money from the man who have access to this power I'm talking about, give him 2 to 3 years, he will get it all back. So don't rely only on principles and formulas and neglect your source of power. See, talking to those, especially if you're a Christian, don't neglect your source of power. Because that source of power will mean more to you than everything you have learned. You see, everything you have learned about wealth creation. That power can move you to a point, just one opportunity of a lifetime that opens a door that land you or launch you into a realm of finance you may never recover from the rest of your life on earth. So there is such a thing as power for wealth. And you need it. I need it. We all need it. We all need it. That thing, or that power, if it gets into you, oh my goodness. So wealth is not just principles and keys. Go to Europe, they teach a lot of keys to success, keys to becoming a millionaire, and all those different steps. But how many people are millionaire in practice? See, those who are on top, not only because of knowledge, but because of grace that they have access to. So it's my desire and prayer that you also will be filled with that grace, so that when you do little things, it will turn into great success. You can do the same business that people are struggling with and scale that business into a multi-million organization. Think about it. As simple as water, which you call H2O. As simple as this is, it's a multi-billion-dollar corporation. You have Nestle Water, Aqua Water. Those are massive companies, but selling water, H2O. It's a great thing. It's a great thing. I know of a man in that city that I came from who sells sand and bricks. Sand and bricks. He's a millionaire, multi-millionaire. Sand, bricks and stone. Sorry, sand, brick and stone. But you say, but sand is everywhere. Because you say, whatever you do will prosper. See, not for everybody, for certain people. So you can sell sand. I mean, what do you think about what can you imagine? People are not selling oxygen, the one you breathe. Oxygen. People are selling oxygen. Everything you can think about, people are selling. They are wealthy doing it. But the difference is not just knowledge, power, or grace. Grace is an enablement that make you do the things that you humanly shouldn't have been able to do. Grace help you do it. So that's my word for you today. Crave power, go for it. Desire the power for wealth. You see, and here's another thing. As I close, here's another thing I want to show you. All very important. See, when it comes to wealth also, it matters who you learn about wealth from. It matters. You know why? A man can transfer what he has. See, if somebody wrote books on how to be wealthy, he's never been a millionaire in his life, never made $1 million ever. But he read a lot of books on how to become a millionaire, and he became, let's say, an educational or a consultant, and he teach people about how to be wealthy. Now, if that man could be very articulate in teaching how to be rich, right? And I'm not trying to knock anybody down. I'm just trying to explain now something to you. That man may be very detailed, maybe a good orator, right? Explaining how to be wealthy. And if you learn from that man about how to be wealthy, you will have a lot of knowledge, a lot of information. but you will lack grace. You know why? Because the man is passing information from his head to your head. Why? He's telling you something that he has never proven. But when you listen to a man who is a millionaire, teach you about how to become a millionaire, has grace. You see, so when this man who has made $1 million, who is a millionaire, is talking to you about how to become a millionaire, he speaks more than information. It may be words, but he's also transmitting grace. Why? That has made him. He's talking to you from a place that he has attained, a place he has reached. So when you listen to such a man, you are likely not just to have information, you have information, of course, info plus grace. That's one of the way to transmit, to contact grace. Because the man who is talking to you is not just telling you theories. He's telling you something. As he's talking, he could see his own journey. So he's imparting to you something that he has done. You see, that's also why it's very important. Like, when you listen to you're on social media and you listen to everybody talking, must be, of course, how will you know? That's another thing. How will you know? It's a bit difficult to tell who is really rich. And of course, now because of the different platforms, somebody can show you a car that he doesn't own. I mean, you can go. These things are common thing on social media. You can take a picture with a Range Rover, take a picture with a Rolls Royce, and say, I have arrived. But you see, well, there's no way you can know. But be careful. What I'm trying to say is, it's one of the ways to get grace. It depends on who is talking to you about wealth. What has he done? You see, has he lost money? Has he been able to come out? Has he been able to make things happen personally, financially? When such a man is talking to you, he has grace plus the information he's giving to you. So this is one of the reasons why many people attend seminars by these folks who are speakers, who have read a lot of books, but did not have, or who have never proven their information. Now, and I don't mean that what they are saying is wrong. The information they are passing is correct, it's accurate, it's true, but they have never proven it, so they don't have the power to impart grace. See, the man who have proven, they tell you 1 + 1 is 2. That 1 + 1 is 2. That 2 comes with grace and power. It does something to you. That's why you see that in most places they invite successful business people to come and talk. So they bring in people who have proven what they are talking about to come and share their stories, their journey. They attempt to kind of impact, grace to their hearers. So you need power. That's the summary of the whole discussion today. You need power or grace for wealth. When you have it, nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you. Even when you don't know what you're going to be doing. Because that power knows how to create opportunities and create the paths that you must journey. You find yourself doing something that you didn't plan to, and getting serious result at it. So, thank you for participating in this video today. Share this video with people. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe today. Thank you.